Hi guys, thanks for joining me. So this is Tamiya's 135 scale Sheridan tank. This is one of their older kits. I managed to pick this up quite cheap from one of my local hobby shops, and when I was waiting for some stuff to dry on one of my builds, I just picked this one up and started making it up. Now, as you know, I'm moving away from doing 172nd armour and 172nd aircraft. I will still do them on occasions, but I want to get more into 148 and 135, and I thought I'd start off with quite a simple build. Now initially, the title of this video was how not to build a 135 scale tank, because on Sunday, when I'd kind of decided I'd finish this, I looked at it and thought that it really, compared to what a lot of you guys out there produce, this kit was, or this build was, god awful. But since then, I've changed one or two things. I've added some texture and pigments to the tracks and to part of the body. Managed to deepen the black wash that I'd put on it previously, so that we could get a bit more definition, although it may be getting bleached out a bit by the daylight coming through the window. The other thing that I did was on Sunday, as I say, the tracks were basically stretching from the this is the return roller, I think, and that's the drive sprocket. They were just stretching from that point there straight across, and so it looked weird because there was no sag at all. And what I did there was I toyed with the idea of trying to use super glue to get the tracks to sit on top of the road wheels, but the problem with that is there was a bit of tension in the tracks, and I didn't think the super glue would hold. I've had that problem in the past with other rubber band tracks, and I know that some guys use metal pins and they drill holes in the hull, and then the pins come out from the hull and they put the pins above the track, but I wasn't too keen on that idea. Sometimes you can see the pins. I have seen modelers put wire and thread it through the track, and then they've bent the wire to conform to the road wheels, but again, on occasions you can see the wire. So I was having to think about it, and whether I've seen this subconsciously elsewhere, I decided what I would do is thread cotton through the gaps in the track and then put it round the road wheels in that way, and then I would tighten the cotton and tie it off underneath so it actually disappears in between the two road wheels, because we've got two road wheels here that are sandwiched with a gap in between. And because I pulled the cotton taut, it brought the track down on top of the road wheel, and I did that for most of the road wheels, perhaps not all, but certainly for the front and back one. And then I think on one side I did all of them, and on this side I may have only just done the middle one there, because it wasn't really necessary to do it on the others, because with these two pulled down and this one pulled down, it brought the whole track down. And I was quite pleased with working that one out and using that process, and I may do it more in future. Of course, the difference between the Sheridan and other armoured vehicles is there's no return rollers across the top, whereas a lot of tanks have a lot of return rollers, so it's not so much of an issue with the tracks going across the top here. The other thing I did was added an aerial, but I think the main thing that changed it for me from being something that was really nondescript to something that I thought, okay, yeah, that'll look good on the shelf, was going back and accentuating the wash and making sure it got into the panel lines and things like that. Especially, although you can't see it very well on this, I'll just turn the tank a bit so perhaps you can make it out. Especially on these ammo cases and things like that, where I can see at least the dark wash is in the recesses there and at the panel lines. So I really enjoyed this build. The other thing that I'm pleased about is it made me think a bit about how to achieve certain effects. Now it is going to be a long journey to get anywhere near, as I say, what some of you guys produce. You know, Steve and Greg and Cohen, so many military modelers out there who produce absolutely fantastic kits that almost look like miniature versions of the real thing. So I hope you like it. I certainly do now. As I say, initially I didn't. It does need a flat coat putting over it. Unfortunately the weather's turned again, it's cold and it's wet, and I'm worried that I may ruin the result if I try and spray in these conditions. But I wanted to get this shown, and wanted to just let you guys know what I've been doing in between other builds, like the eggplane build for instance, and since finishing HMS Eskimo. So thanks ever so much for watching, and I hope all your builds are going well. It's coming up to the weekend now, which is great. I hope you all get some decent build time and some decent progress on your kits. Thanks again guys, and I'll catch up with you soon.